Hey guys, Jerry Berg, the Poor Historian here, and I just got back from a sparring session where I got to try out my new steel gauntlets. These steel gauntlets are from Sangam Steelcraft. They are 16 gauge, got them from India, yes, they're Indian. And they are pretty horrible right off the bat for fighting HEMA, any style. Did not have very much luck with them at all. This is not a Poor Historian review because these are not poor. They are moderately expensive. They're not as expensive as HEMA gloves, and there's good reason for that. So I wanted to go over some of it. First of all, I was very happy that they fit my hands. I've got big old monster hands, so it's very nice that they fit me. That's one of the things I was worried about when first buying HEMA gloves. The other thing is that they were fairly inexpensive. I got them for about $100 for the pair. However, I did see a few auctions go for a little less. I saw them as low as $65, which is nice for 16 gauge steel. There are lots of problems, and I wanted to point that out in this video because I wanted to get it out of the way before I go and do a modification or a HEMA hack video. So, some of the issues with it. First, I really much like this thumb guard because my thumb takes a beating when I do HEMA stuff. However, I can't really turn it that much because my thumb is actually, if the knuckle is right up here, it's actually pushed against the steel plate here, and the padding is down here. So I'm not able to curl my thumb as much as I'd like it to. And I believe that will be fixed if I separate this leather strip here and extend it. The other thing, the big problem, is that when I try to make a fist, you can kind of see my glove in there, I'm not able to curl my hand the way I'd want to around the grip of a longsword or whatever weapon I'm using. My hand kind of does this. I need to do this, not this. And the reason for that is that this inner mitten here is attached to the very tip of this final plate. And the problem is this final plate can only bend so much. So my plan is to detach the inner lining here, or the glove from the metal here, so that the plate can stay where it is here, but the glove, at least the tips of it, are separate, allowing me to curl my finger under the protective shell of the metal. Now the other way to go about that would be to actually modify this last piece of metal. I don't have the equipment for that. I'm sure most of you don't. Those of you that do, awesome, that would be fantastic to do so. But for now, it's much easier to work the leather than it is to work the steel. Very cool that it is 16 gauge. If you're familiar with SCA rules, 16 gauge is the minimum required for body stuff in most tournaments to allow for metal combat. And you can feel it. I mean, this is solid. I am not going to take a hit. I'm not going to be able to feel it. There are a couple other things that I want to do to make these tournament ready for HEMA. Specifically on the side here. This is my wrist right here, or the soft part of my hand. So I would like to take some leather, probably from an old belt, and attach it here, go down here, make that nice and protective. I'm not too worried about this section. This is fairly well protected, but that's another section. So there's three sections of the hack that I want to do for this. That would be adding leather, some protection here, possibly here. I want to separate the fingers from the glove so I can actually make a good fist, and then I want to separate or extend this connector with the thumb guard so I can move it a little bit more freely. We'll see how that goes. I haven't really planned anything else when I was doing this video, but I did want to at least get out into the field and try these with some HEMA sparring, which I just did, and they're horrible. So let's see if we can make them usable. See how it goes.